Hello, welcome to Part of My Imagination. I'm Imagination and you are the Imaginers. Well, welcome if this is your first time. My name is Jasmine and welcome back if this is your second or third. How many times you clicked on my channel, welcome. Y'all, today is not the day, okay? I'm not feeling too well, but I need to record, and if I really want to get back into YouTube, I need to, you know, do YouTube stuff. Anyways, as you can tell from the title of this video, I'm going to be going over all the books that I plan on reading in the month of July. This is a hefty list. I think it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 books. But they are all books off of my 23 for 23 list. Not just 23 for 23, but any list that I made as far as a goal. So that's the series, duology, standalone, and rereads. So I have 2 books from each one of those categories, and let's just get right into it. Okay, so the first book I have is Broken Web by Lori M. Lee, and although this was not on the list, I quietly replaced this duology, the Forest of Souls. I replaced this duology because there was a book that was on the list that wasn't actually a duology, it was a series. So I went and replaced it, and yeah. The first book is Forest of Souls. I read this a couple months ago, and it is following this girl who has no family, has no home, and she is only good at fighting, and she wants to become the Shadow, but some things happen and things don't play out the way that they want to play out, and she finds out some things about her. I love this cover. I did love this book. I think I gave it, I can't remember what I gave it, but at least I know I at least gave it 4 stars. Alright, the next duology that I have, and it's really a book that I need to get to, is We Free the Stars by Hafsah Faizal. This is the second book in the We Free the Stars, or excuse me, We Hunt the Flames. This is book 2. Obviously, it's a duology. It's following this girl named Zafira who pretty much is a huntress, but everyone thinks that she is a he. And with that, she is tasked to basically bring magic back. Well, you have another band of characters who are trying to stop her, but there's a lot of things going into play. There's a ton of magic, and it's honestly one of my favorite books. It is in my top favorite. So I just need to go ahead and pick this up, and it does have Assassin's Creed vibes or inspiration. My cat is about to jump on the couch. Oh, she didn't do it. I'm so proud of her. But Altair is in here, and he's one of my favorite characters, and I just got to get to it so I can also get to her next book, which is A Tempest of Tea, I believe. Okay, the next book I have is The Burning God by R.F. Kuang. This is the last and final book in the Poppy War series. This is an adult fantasy. My cat is cleaning herself on the couch. This is where I have my camera set up, so it's gonna do that jiggle. And I feel like at this point my videos have, you know, when my watch used to, the Siri would just turn on randomly and start talking in the middle of recording. I feel like that is being replaced with cat jiggles. You know, that's just, I feel like, what we have. You're just gonna see cat jiggles in like all of my videos. On cue. She's on cue. I can't yell at her because she's so cute. But can you just not, please? Can you just like behave while I record? Anyways, yes, this is the last and final book in the Poppy War. If you don't know what the Poppy War is about, it is following this girl who is basically an orphan, and she ends up living with like her aunt in this super impoverished like town. And she ends up studying to get into the hardest military school, and she ends up getting in, and then some crazy shit happens, and then she finds out about not necessarily magic but powers, and it has some Chinese mythology, It's adult fantasy. It's extremely adult fantasy. Trigger warnings for so many things. I have talked about this series, the Poppy War in specific, because I just need to emphasize how much I mean when I say this is an adult fantasy. Trigger warning for everything. So just be aware of that. I really enjoyed this book so much. And I can't wait to just go ahead and finish the series. Alright, the next book that I have that also falls in the series category, and that is Fairest by Marissa Meyer. This is part of the Luna Chronicles. This is Lavina's story. I have read Cinder, Scarlet, and I believe Cress. And I only have Winter and these last 3 left. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up this novella. Yeah, it's a novella of Lavina's story. And if you don't know what the Luna Chronicles is about, they're just retellings of fairy tales. So you have Cinder, who's Cinderella, Scarlet, who is supposed to be, I think, Little Red Riding Hood. Cress is supposed to be Rapunzel. Winter is supposed to be Snow White. And the series overall for me is 3 stars, but I have it and I just want to finish it, so I'm just going to go ahead and pick this up. Alright, for my standalone, I have The Cost of Knowing by Brittany Morris. This is the second book by Brittany Morris that I will be reading. The first one I read was Slay, and this is following a 16-year-old Alex Ruffus is trying his best. He tries to be the best employee he can be at the local ice cream shop, the best boyfriend he can be to his amazing girlfriend Talia, the best protector he can be to his little brother Isaiah. But as much as Alex tries, he often comes up short. It's hard for him to be present when every time he touches an object or person, Alex sees into the future. I just remembered now. But yes, it's following this boy who basically can touch things and touch people and see the future, see their future. And that's all I really want to know. And it's not that long, so I'm hoping that I can quickly get to it and finish it. And also this cover. It's beautiful. I don't know. Anyways, the next standalone I have is Firekeeper's Daughter by Angeline Bouliey. I need to get to this. That's all. I'm just going to read the back because I don't really know what is much about it. But there are 2 authors on the back of the books that I've read and loved. It's blurred by Courtney Summers, which I loved. Sadie, I loved. What is it called? I'm blanking on it. Cracked Up to Be, and The Project. I've loved Courtney Summers. She's an auto buy for me. And then it's also blurred by Tochi Nobuchi, and it says, prayers begin with offering Sema and sharing my spirit name, clan, and where I am from. I always add an extra name to make sure Creator knows who I am, a name that connects me to my father, because I began as a secret and then a scandal. And yes, I need to get to this. I'm so excited. Okay, so the next books that I'm going to be talking about are my rereads that I want to do and get to. And the first one I have is City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty, or Shannon Chakraborty. This book is following a girl who is just trying to get by, and she kind of like scams people. Like, not necessarily, but she does like these tricks and like spell calling, or like she's summoning stuff. She kind of just like gained money. She's like a gypsy, I guess you could say. And then one day she does that and she accidentally awakens a djinn, and they go on this adventure, I guess you could say. And then there's another realm. Well, let me rewind that. They're not going on an adventure. They're trying to escape from another entity that is coming after them. And they kind of, because she awoken him, the djinn, she has to go ahead and try to solve the mystery of all that and like what the heck happened. And then on the other side you have the other world, another worldly area where there is some political power dynamics happening in this kingdom, and you see how they intertwine. This is such a beautifully written story. I loved it. I gave it 5 stars the first time. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna give it 5 stars the next time, and it's just great. And I'm just gonna go ahead and hurry up, throw it in now because I'm talking about it. But the next book I'm gonna be reading is The Kingdom of Copper, also by S.A. Chakraborty. This is the second book in the series, and this is part of my 23 or 23. So I figured I could knock out 2 for the price of 1. Mainly because I am starting to forget a lot of the stories that I've read before, but I don't want to continue to keep doing rereads. That's a whole nother discussion that we'll talk about. But anyways, yeah, so I'm just going to be reading these on 2 separate lists. This one is my reread, and this is my series, or excuse me, my 23 for 23. All right, and following in the rereads, I have The Star Touched Queen by Roshani. I was supposed to read this a couple months ago, and I just did not get to it, but I really, really, really want to read this. This is following a girl whose father basically marries her off to protect his kingdom, and some other things end up happening, and she ends up going into a whole nother world. And this is not talked about enough, but the romance story in here is so beautifully written, and it's just so beautiful overall. And I want to get to this so that I can read the second one, which is A Crown of Wishes. And I've loved everything by Roshani that I've read. I've read her young adult, or her middle grade, which is Arusha and The End of Time. I've read the first book. I've read The Gilded Ones and loved it, and I read this and loved it, so also another auto buy for me. But we're gonna go ahead and pick this up. And last but not least, the second book for the 23 and 23, I am going to be reading The Underground Railroad by Colson Whitehead. And I don't actually know what this is about, but I read Nickel Boys by Colson Whitehead, and oh my god, destroyed me. So I just need to go ahead and pick this up. But yeah, it's basically just like following it's following an adventure of a young slave as she makes a desperate bid for freedom in the antebellum South. That's what this is about. This might be hard-hitting. It might be everything I need to knock me out of this reading slump that I'm having. And yeah, I feel like every time I talk to you guys, I'm saying I'm in a reading slump, and I don't understand why. But maybe it's just that it's a different job now, and I should not believe that I'm going to be able to read the same way that I've read in the past. But I don't know. But yes, let me tell you, there's 10 books here. I might throw in some graphic novels, but I never like to pinpoint, and I just like want to pick up. But these are all the books. Excuse me. These are all the books that I'm gonna try to get to. There's some thick books in here, like really thick books in here. But I'm gonna try to get to these books, and if I do, I do, and if I don't, I don't. That's kind of the vibe that I've been going with for the rest of the year, is not stressing myself out about not getting to books, even though I put them on my TBR. I kind of have just made the TBRs now just like a guideline of what I want to read, and not necessarily like I need to read every single one of them, but I just want to give myself options. And that's kind of like the opposite of what I said last month, but like it is what it is, you know. Like I don't really know, but yes, that is all that I have for you guys today. Be sure to check out my description where you can find easy ways to contact me, as well as all the books and videos that I talked about. If you like this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if not, just imagine that you didn't come back again. Until next time, keep imagining.